Sea stars along much of our Pacific coast are dying in great numbers in a mysterious fashion in what is being called sea star wasting syndrome. Western's own associate professor in biology, Ben Miner, has played a significant role in researching this fascinating and sad phenomenon.
Sea star populations along the west coast have been suffering from a die-off that's attributed to sea star wasting syndrome. And we've seen major die-offs in the areas around Vancouver, BC, Seattle, Washington, Monterey Bay, California, and Santa Barbara, California. And in these areas, we have seen relatively abundant populations of sea stars die, and so it's very difficult to find individuals at all at the sites that previously had many sea stars present there. Sea star wasting syndrome is a set of symptoms that progress within an individual until they ultimately die. And normally what happens is individuals start behaving a bit different. They'll twist their arms up or not look the normal, or act at least in the normal behavior of sea stars that are healthy. They can sometimes look deflated, kind of look curled up, and then lesions oftentimes develop on the epidermis, their skin, which can rupture, spilling out some of their intestines and gonads, and then sometimes the arms will rip apart from the body, and then ultimately the individuals die. Primarily what people see, though, at the very end of it is a very large bacterial mat that it's oftentimes described as a big pile of goo, and that's basically the tissue that has been degraded by bacteria. So my research primarily involves two aspects related to this problem. One is surveying areas to determine where the disease is present and how it might be moving or progressing as time goes on, or disappearing in some cases. And then the other part is a set of laboratory experiments that I do, where we will put individuals that appear to be infected in with healthy individuals, and then determine whether they can transfer it among individuals, or maybe put in infected water, for example, in with what appear to be healthy individuals and see if they contract it.
We have no idea what it is right now, so that's really cool, kind of being on the cutting edge of the research. And the stickers on each of the tanks, usually the first layer of manipulations was just sick and healthy individuals, and those are the green and red tags. And the tank, easy way to number each of the tanks so we know who's in what tank, sort of thing. About once a week or so, since normally these organisms are intertidal, so the tide comes in, brings their food to them, if you will, brings that clean water in, and then it goes out, and it comes in and out. Whereas here they're in a static environment, so the waste from the sea stars, when they're eating the mussels that we provide for them, builds up, and so we change the water to make sure that doesn't end up impacting experimental manipulations we're doing. Most of the researchers, there's an entire team, it's not just Dr. Miner, up and down the coast that's been looking at this, and so you can really help out if, when you're walking down at, say, Marine Park or whatnot, and you find a star that has whitish lesions, is usually the first sign of the condition that's really, really obvious. And you do want to be careful, because on the top of the star there's a little circle, and that little circle that's naturally whitish is part of the sea star. That's not a lesion, so be careful about that. And yeah, keep an open mind, keep looking. Citizen science is really helping us out on this project. Feel free to talk to Dr. Miner. His email should be up on the biology department webpage.
If people are interested in getting involved there, I would suggest going and looking at the Sea Star Wasting Syndrome webpage that the UC Santa Cruz hosts, and I think it's seastarwasting.org. It provides some additional information about how to get involved if you'd want to. And we have lots of citizen scientist groups that are helping out and trying to figure out where the disease is, how it's spreading, and help solve the problem.